Okay, before I get into this, let me just say one thing. I do not really read Hunter x Hunter. I barely gotten by the first arc of Hunter x Hunter. And am I not mistaken that the cliffhanger of this chapter, finding out what the Vinsmoke family really is like a ripoff of Kahlua? Like, am I right in assuming that? Because I knew, like, Kahlua's, like, background with, like, his family, and then he, like, runs away, and then Sanji. I'm just saying, that's the first thing I thought of, and I don't even read the damn series, but whatever. Just comment that below. This is chapter 814 review of One Piece. Let's go see Master Nekomamushi. Before we get into that, though, one, like, minor caveat. In the format of these reviews, what do you guys prefer? Do you prefer me, like, doing how I do with Bleach, where I basically just go through the entire chapter and then just pick out certain points to bring up? Or would you rather me just give, like, a really brief, like, maybe 30-second summary of the chapter and then just go immediately into discussions? I've been debating that, simply because with Bleach, the chapters are a lot shorter than One Piece, and One Piece packs in a lot more action, a lot more bang for your buck, a lot more dialogue. So it just seems like I'm here forever trying to go through the entire chapter recap, or I could just give, like, cliff note versions of the chapter, then just immediately go into discussion. But whatever, let me know below, and I'll figure that out for next time. But that's actually beside the point in this week, because for a good chunk of this chapter, a good, like, maybe fourth of it, like, that's my cell phone going off. The first fourth of it is pretty much just recapping stuff that we knew already from last chapter, because last chapter was mostly told in flashback, and the beginning of this is pretty much just, like, Brook and Nami just bringing Luffy up to speed on, here's his letter, this is why he left, the Big Mom Pirates and his family, the Vinsmoke family. We get a little moment from Brook once again. They've just kind of mentioned, like, the Vinsmoke family, this is kind of this rings a bell, and then you have Brook there with just, like, not saying anything. Like, it feels like he should bring something up, but he's just hiding something for now. So, once again, maybe somebody he dealt with a long time ago, maybe he's in the Rumbar Pirates or somebody like that. We'll find out what the Vinsmoke family really is at the end of this chapter, which brings into just question exactly what Brook's knowledge of them really means. But yeah, they just go on and typically about, like, oh, is Sanji coming back? No, he's not coming back. If he does come back, then he might be married, and if he's married, that means that the Big Mom Pirates are going to be basically the managers of the Straw Hats. They're going to get, like, assimilated in, and Luffy, of course, isn't cool with that idea. But this all gets broken up when Zoro, of all people, actually starts to just explain how much shit they're really in right now, because they kind of are. Like, I've been bringing up, like, there's a lot of stuff going on right now. I mean, aside from just the Zoe arc, we also have, the Wano Kuni, we have Kanjiro and Kinemon, we have Raizo, the ninja, somewhere hanging out, we have the issue with the Big Mom Pirates, we have Sanji. Like, there's a lot of stuff going down right now, but Zoro brings up the main point here that, hey, look, we completely wrecked Punk Hazard and Dressrosa, which is where the whole, artificial devil fruit manufacturing was coming from. So we pissed off Doflamingo, and now we in turn pissed off Kaido. And we've saw the damage that Jack could do, and Jack was just a subordinate of the Kaido pirates. I guess that's what they're called, just the Kaido pirates. We've seen what he could do to this country, so Kaido is going to be coming after our fucking throats now. And in addition to that, Luffy, you want to go after Big Mom, who you've already pissed off, by the way, by, bitching her out over the phone. We've already done that, and now, so we're basically going to have two Yonkus down our freaking throat here. We're kind of balance it. So no matter how you look at it, we're in pretty deep shit here. Like, for right now, we're okay, because we're in this country where we're being treated like heroes, but we gotta watch our fucking backs. We gotta be very careful about how we do this, right? And of course, Zoro's response to Sanji leaving is Sanji and Zoro didn't really get along much anyway, so Zoro's just like, whatever, you guys are just trying to make up excuses for him, and Nami's just like, no, I'm not, this is serious shit right here. So Luffy, knowing this information, and taking into the account of his crew's, suggestions, immediately just says, let's go ask Sanji himself, why not, right? So Robin comes up, and sorry, that was really high-pitched, I wish Robin Robin would become more vocal on the team a little bit. I really wish she would serve, because she's like the most level-headed person in the entire crew, let's be honest here. She's the most intelligent. She is the most versed in what is going on in the world. She keeps up to speed on this. She spent 2 years with the Revolutionary fucking Army. She should be like the advisor of the Straw Hats. Luffy should defer to Robin for pretty much everything in a perfect world. Okay, well anyway, Robin comes up and says, she's a Yonkou, we just can't stroll into her castle and beat her up and take Sanji back. Luffy's response to this, okay, well let's sneak into her castle and take Sanji back. And so they're kind of debating this, but then Chopper brings up, hey look, it's not like we're completely out of options here on having to find Big Mom. It's not like it's impossible for us to go after her. Rather, we should be very careful. Because Pecoms was the one that worked for one of the high-ranking members of the Big Mom Pirates and was left on Zoe. So, boom, there's your connection. You just gotta talk to Pecoms, who is apparently at King Nekomanshi's castle, and he's recovering, and if he has regained consciousness, we'll just talk to him about what was going on with Sanji. So then at that point, they arrived at the Whale Forest, where Nekomamushi's castle is, or it's more of just like a, I guess castle, I guess would be the appropriate word. It's made out of wood, but, with like a little hut kind of thing. The entire area over in the Whale Forest is as uproarious as before with the Duke's territory. They're just as happy to see the Straw Hats as everyone else. We meet Pedro, which is one of the Whale Forest Guardians, very high-ranking member, and he just kind of walks up to Luffy and he says, hey, look, man, Sanji's a good guy, so if there's anything we can do to help, I mean, we understand that you wanted to keep it a secret from us to not make us worry, but we're at your service if you need your help. And then, bam, I'm thinking, man, is this going to be pretty cool? Now I'm thinking, like, the Minks and the Straw Hats are going to, like, team up and raid fucking Big Mom's castle and try to take Sanji back. I mean, I'm not getting your hopes up or anything, but that sounds like this is a very important ally that the Straw Hats made here. I mean, these guys were able to go toe-to-toe with one of the Yonkou's top-ranked members, along with his entire crew, and pretty much fight at a stalemate. If it wasn't for the gas, they might have possibly won. So this is a huge ally the Straw Hats have gained. If these guys are, like, going to form a raiding party, god damn, I would love to see that, especially since there's really not, like I said, there's really nothing to see here on Zoe. There's no enemy to fight on Zoe. There's really no reason for them to have a long, drawn-out arc here on this island, or on this elephant island, whatever. Anyway, funny scene of the chapter comes next, where we have Chopper arriving to go, I gotta go tend to Master Nekomamushi. And a female reindeer or female deer, well, I don't want to say female deer because she's not a doe, she has antlers. But wait, do female reindeer have antlers? I don't know what she's supposed to be. Yeah, okay. Anyway, a female reindeer, I guess, approaches Chopper and just, like, greets him in the traditional way that minks do. They rub their cheeks together, and Chopper immediately is love-struck. He is smitten with this mink. So I find that hilarious because Chopper has never expressed any interest in anybody because he's an animal, So there was, like, multiple scenes where Chopper's, like, been in the bathroom with, like, Nami naked, taking a bath together. And it's like, I'm just an animal, so it doesn't matter. I don't view humans that way. So now we see him basically lusting after a mink, and I found that very humorous. Chopper's got a girlfriend. Chopper's got a girlfriend. All right, there you go. I'm sure there'll be some fanfics appearing in that. Okay, so we get to see Nekomamushi now, who, and at first we got a very intimidating, vibe from the dude. Like, I'm a fucking cat demon. I'll claw your damn eyes out, But no, he's pretty chill here. He's kind of like Garfield. In fact, more of the ways than one, because he's chilling out in a bath, eating lasagna. Can't make this stuff up. So clear reference to Garfield there, and Chopper's pissed off because he's pretty much doing everything that Chopper told him not to do. Like, you shouldn't be bathing, you shouldn't be using your left arm, especially since, you had your hand ripped off by Jack. But he's somehow managing to hold a fork with his left stump. That's very versatile there. And he's in very good spirits, and his shtick for this chapter, and I guess what's going to be continuing his shtick, is, of course, he's a cat, so he does things that cats do, except take baths. He's cool with taking baths, but he, like, someone just, like, throws a ball at him, and he's like, ooh, wee, a ball! And he's like, yeah, and later on, he's playing with, like a cat toy, you know, so that's his thing. It's pretty humorous. He rips all of his wounds open in the process, so they put him back in the bed, and Chopper, you know, patches him back up and injects him with something, and then you had the scene with Robin holding up a cat toy over him as he's playing with it. But otherwise, he's a pretty serious dude. You know, he's just like, look, I will pay my debt to you one day no matter what. You know, I have these duties and obligations despite how I look. So pretty much we could just move on to the end of the chapter now. I'm trying to think. There's really nothing much else with Nekomamushi other than that, you know, we get a little bit about his personality and that he brings up, you know, the importance of his debt to the Straw Hats. Well, we cut over to where Pecoms is recovering. He's bedridden. He's, like, hooked up to an IV and everything. And the Straw Hats go in and they start asking him, hey, what's up with Sanji, whatever. Pecoms brings up that, by the way, how he survived Capone's attack is I guess he used his power to lessen the damage, so I guess that means his turtle power or his hockey, you know, whichever, his turtle devil fruit, whatever. He cut the damage from Capone in half, but I guess the damage was pretty severe, so it knocked him out. Well, the Straw Hats just ask him point blank, you know, where is they taking Sanji? And Pecom's like, there's no point in trying to stop the marriage. You're not going to succeed. Well, then they ask him, well, who has arranged the marriage? And they said, well, that would be Mama and also the Vinsmoke family, of course, and specifically Sanji's dad, the father of the Vinsmoke family. And I keep switching back between Vinsmoke and Vinsmoke. I'm sorry. I heard it was pronounced Vinsmoke at one point, so I'm just going to go with that. But I'll alternate, I guess. Well, anyway, the big deal with the father of the Vinsmoke family is he's kind of famous throughout the world, and the reason he's famous is because he's the head of a family of assassins. The Vinsmoke family are assassins. So there you go. That's the end of the chapter. So kind of blows us out of the water there. I mean, I'm sure there's a few people that thought, you know, the Vinsmoke family were of that line, but me and everybody else, for the most part, can admit we were wrong. Not a family of nobility. It's pretty much the exact opposite of that, assassins. Although, this might bring back to the world nobles, even still. Because, hey, world nobles, pretty sadistic motherfuckers, and I'm sure there's a lot of people in the world that they would probably want dead. And if the Vinsmoke family is like the top family of assassins in the world, then you'd probably be calling up their Den Mushi, you know what I mean? So there still might be a connection there, but as for them being nobility, like ruling over a country, that is incorrect. I mean, they might rule over a country as sort of like the Godfather, like a mafia sort of deal, which is pretty kick-ass, actually. So it makes me wonder exactly how, you know, the circumstances why Sanji left. Was it something as simple as just, I don't approve of our family's morals, I don't want to kill people, and he just ran away? Or was it because I want to live out my passion and he ran away? Or was he kicked out or something? Any of those would be accurate, I suppose. It would also explain how they journeyed all over the world. I mean, when they started in the North Blue, where Sanji was born, and then the East Blue, and then they ended up in the New World now. So, you know, with setting up everything, I'm going to say we're going to put the situation with Kaido maybe on hold. And in fact, my theory for Kaido is, well, let's talk about Big Mom right now. I think that's what we're going to focus on right now. I think that's what this chapter was setting up. We're going to focus on Big Mom for now. Okay, you know, I would love to see, like, the minks healing up and then because they even brought up in this chapter, hey, did you notice the minks heal, like, really fast? I mean, they're battle damage, but they could heal maybe, and then Chopper's there. I think all the major players in the minks could heal rather quickly, and then they could just form one big crew and then just head off to fucking Whole Cake Island or wherever Big Mom's base is, raid the place, and then you have the minks and the Straw Hats versus the Big Mom pirates and the Vinsmoke family. And then that'll be this arc coming up. And then the whole deal with Kaido and Jack and Kinemon and Kanjuro, that's all going to be the Wano Kuni arc. You know, hey, Kaido and Jack were looking for Raizo, right? Well, I mean, maybe they didn't want to attack Wano Kuni directly because maybe there's some really strong warriors there, and Wano Kuni has always been stated to just kind of stay out of the government's affairs, just kind of be an isolated country. So maybe they didn't want to attack Wano Kuni directly. But, you know, when you're a member of the Yonkou, you can pretty much do whatever the fuck you want, you know what I mean? Like, you saw what Whitebeard did. He attacked the freaking home base of the Navy, or the Marines, you know, like, there's really no limits to when you're a Yonkou. The only thing you really have to worry about is attacking another Yonkou at that point. So, Yeah, I'm gonna say that's what's coming up right now. We're gonna focus on Big Mom and then Kaido later on. Um, and then PCOM's, I don't know what's the deal with him. I don't know if he's gonna help the Straw Hats out because they helped out Zoe, or if he's gonna hold allegiance to Big Mom. But he seemed pretty open about just telling them what's going on with the Vinsmoke family. He doesn't seem like, I ain't telling you guys anything about Mama's affairs or anything like that. But who's to say if he's going to join in as well? But hey, I think we have a pretty good fighting force just with the Minks and the Straw Hats alone right now. Sans Sanji, of course. So, yeah, that's where I hope this goes. Leave your comments below on what you guys think. Some theories about the Vinsmoke family. Maybe a connection with the nobility, the Tenryubito, where the story's going to go next. I highly doubt this story's gonna end, because Luffy brought it up like, oh, if Sanji gets married, then that means that woman will join the crew, won't she? I mean, I would like another female in the Straw Hats, to kind of maybe balance out that, a little bit. That could still happen. I don't see any reason why that couldn't happen. It depends on what woman this Purin is, which she's gonna be a major player. It's not going to be just like this random woman that it's just like, oh, marry me because marry me, she's probably going to be relevant, and it might even be a thing where it's like she doesn't agree with this either. She doesn't like this arranged marriage or what they're doing either, But hey, I could see it being a big deal when it comes to the Big Mom pirates. Like, hey, if they can assimilate the Vinsmoke family into their power, I mean, that's just a perfect thing. That might actually tie back to Capone. Like, Capone, who's obviously a gangster, joins the Big Mom pirates and then presents the idea of, hey, there's the Vinsmoke family. If you assimilate them, we'll basically rule the fucking world, So maybe that's where that idea came from, It's kind of hard not to, like, family of assassins and you have a gangster on your crew. Okay, well, that's anything I'm saying. Thanks for you guys for watching. Let me know below on how you want these videos to be structured in the future. So Tekking101 signing out. Later, guys.